Welcome to another episode of In the Green with BNI. I'm Felicia Miller Johnson, and with our co-host, Paul Kroger. What's up, Paul?
What's going on? It's almost the weekend.
Yes. Yeah, you have any special plans?
We don't have any special plans. We're going to hang out as a family, hopefully just take some time to chill and decompress a little bit this weekend. So I'm already in my casual weekend wear.
Yes.
I'm digging the animal print today.
Yeah. That is my secret identity, so to speak. So yes, I love that. So guess what? We have Tharwat with us today. Yay!
Yeah,
Tharwat.
We got a super lady today. So excited.
Yes.
So good to be here. Thank you, guys.
Well, we're so glad to have you. So, Tharwat, I know a little bit about your family, but share with everyone about your wonderful family and what makes you Tharwat.
What makes me Tharwat is my family, my immediate and extended family. I have been married to Zach for 19 years. It feels like a lifetime. And he has also been in BNI for a very long time, since 2003. We have four children. We have four children, Hannah, Nyla, Ada, and Zane. We have them fairly close together. They grow up together. They play, they fight, all the fun stuff. They are the lights of our lives. And I taught adjunct psychology for 17 years. I've been a life coach for 7 years, and joined BNI in 2018 after much convincing from my husband, who for quite some time had been pushing me toward BNI. I resisted, but once I finally made the decision, then I haven't looked back. It's been a fantastic opportunity for me.
Well, I love that for sure. And shout out to your husband, Zach, for like, hey, come on, join the BNI family as well. So with that, you've now been in BNI for 7 years. So of the core values, which one is your favorite and why?
There are many of the core values that I very much respect and appreciate. It's one of the things that I enjoy about BNI are the ethics and the values that it's all founded upon. But my favorite would probably have to be the building of relationships, because the building of the relationships has not only led to the profitability and the growth of my business, but it's also led to a significant amount of personal development as well. And as a life coach, I'm all about personal development. So I've seen not just companies grow through the BNI system, I've seen individuals grow as well.
Yes, love that. So life coach, like I said, you used to practice psychology, but you're in BNI for your life coaching business. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So I have four kids. Being a mom, it will always be my first, foremost, primary job in life. And I focused on that full time for a while. And all along the way, because I have a passion for psychology and am curious by nature about human nature, why we think and behave the way that we do, I always kept one foot in the psychology field. So for 17 years total, I taught adjunct psychology when we lived in right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. And then after Hurricane Katrina, we moved back to Arkansas, and I immediately signed on to teach classes at UALR and in a variety of different psychology disciplines. So I've really enjoyed the growth, the exposure. I've loved teaching. I get to teach my kids, and I got to teach students. And then probably around 2012, I decided that I wanted to try my hand finding at therapy. My kids had gotten old enough. They were fairly independent. They were all in school. And so I signed on at a neuropsychology clinic in Little Rock and interned for a little over a year. And I fell in love with it. I loved working with clients. I loved working one-on-one with people. But I also realized about myself that my heart wasn't necessarily in a traditional clinical therapeutic setting. So after about a year, or a little over a year of working in a clinical setting, a friend of mine encouraged me to consider and try coaching. I did full time. I still get to use all of the things that I know and love about psychology. It's a fairly different twist and in a slightly different capacity. We're focusing more on tools and solution-based options, less on diagnostics. I most certainly can help individuals who feel disadvantaged or broken in a sense, even though I don't believe that any of us are really broken. But my favorite thing to do is help people transition from just living in a survival state of mind to a thriving state of mind. And there are things that we can learn and do, strategies we can implement, mindsets that we can shift, limiting beliefs that we can eliminate that position us for the possibility of thriving in life. So I started coaching part-time, and it grew, and that's when my husband began pushing me toward BNI to make the coaching a full-time gig, and that's what I did.
Awesome.
All right, Tharwat. So we're going to shift gears just a little bit here and tell us a little bit more about, this is like a growing, not a business, it's a movement, it seems like, with Shifter.
Well, I have BNI to thank for Shifter. Honestly, it's the building relationships, the connections that I was able to make through BNI that created the possibility of Shifter. It's not just the relationships that you build in your chapter. Those are exciting, fun, creative, productive, but BNI is a movement in and of itself, and there are lots of people and relationships you get to build across chapter. And so one of the cross chapter connections I made was with Gretchen Jackson. We had learned about each other through BNI. Kristen Kennan, we learned of one another through BNI, and I began a relationship with both of those in the professional BNI capacity. And then Gretchen had read a book that really lit a fire under her, and then she ended up landing on Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, he mentions the power of a mastermind group, which caused her to think, well, I wonder what it would be like, how it would benefit me, or how fun it would be to have my own mastermind group. So she reached out to some people that she knew, and she reached out to me because she knew of me as a life coach, and we'd met through BNI, and said, let's try this. Let's try our hand in a mastermind group. So we did, and it went so well. We had our own unique way of operating. It was different from what you would traditionally consider mastermind. It was focused, we were focusing more on fellowship, relationship, supporting one another, celebrating our wins, and supporting each other when we might be moving through some challenges in life. And we decided that we were going to have a book that we all read together each month. There was an agenda for the meeting. We had spotlights each meeting, and we were going to focus on mindset, because it's all well and good to set or establish goals for ourselves, but really it's a mindset. It's the limiting beliefs that make it difficult to attain those goals, those walls that we run into. So we focused on that, and after about 6 months, things were really moving. They were shifting for the 6 original members of this mastermind group. And we started having other women approach us asking how they could become a part of our mastermind group. And so we decided, well, is this just a chemistry thing between us, or is there something about the model? Is there something about what we put together that's working? We sent out a few emails to try to get a beta group of 6 women, because each group has 6 women in it. We ended up with 3 groups of 6 women who were interested in testing out the beta group, and then the rest is history. That went so well for them. So there's something about the formula and the way that it's set up. There's something about the hunger in a lot of women wanting to have that type of relationship support and growth that has really caught fire.
Yeah, so that's even transitioned all the way to you guys now having a podcast that is continuing to grow. So it's just amazing how reading a book and then someone reaching out and say, hey, I have an interest in doing this. So you also do mindful blend retreats. Tell us a little bit about this.
Sure. This is also thanks to BNI. We had a visitor come to one of our meetings a couple of years ago, and she was a hypnotherapist, or is a hypnotherapist. And we got to know one another through that BNI connection, and it was a dream of hers to start a retreat for women. And a friend of hers, Susie, she owns the homestead, and she's a yoga instructor. So the three of us met, and Mindful Blend Retreats was born. So these are weekend retreats. They're not overnight stays, but we blend together body, mind, and soul through yoga, hypnotherapy, and coaching. And the entire weekend is about cleansing. The vegetarian meals are prepared. We have lots of different types of sessions and exercises that we engage with one another. And we've had several of the retreats, and they've gone incredibly well. Again, it's about supporting women and helping us not only reconnect with ourselves, but also reconnecting in a healthy way with one another.
All right, so I love all of the things that you do to just give to other people. And it says so much about you. So one of the other things that we talk about every single time on this podcast is we talk about how BNI adds to visibility and credibility. So share a little bit about how BNI has been impactful for you, and maybe you've even seen that a little bit in your long history with your husband and your family as well.
Right. BNI has been a staple for my husband, having been a member since 2003. He wouldn't ever consider leaving BNI because it's a considerable amount of the opportunity and the business that comes his way is because of BNI. And then it also makes you feel good because you're able to give and support other business professionals. But personally, I don't care I love what I do, but marketing isn't my jam. And so when my husband approached me when I was making the decision to step out of teaching and move into coaching full time, he said, "You're going to have to give BNI a shot." And I was like, "Oh, I don't like marketing. That's not, and networking. That's exhausting for me. I can't do it. I can't do it." And then he kept pushing, and I attended a meeting with BNI the Tiger, the chapter that I'm in, and I really clicked with everybody in that room. And I knew the instant I attended on their visitor day in 2018 that this was where I needed to be. This was my home, and the rest is history. So you know what? I get to focus on what I love doing, and then I have a room of 20 to 30 other people that are out there looking for business for me. It's more than any one person can ever do. So you extend your reach, your visibility through your network of chapter members. So it has helped me grow. I made that transition from part-time to full-time within 6 months of joining BNI. And it's nice to have people not only looking for business for you, but it's also nice to have people who are helping you build your credibility, who are vouching for you. It makes a big difference. And of course, that bottom line tends to affect your profitability.
A shout out to BNI the Tiger. And this is our favorite part, or at least my favorite part, is one of our values is recognition, and we get to recognize that you are in the green, Tharwat.
Yeah, congratulations, Tharwat.
Thank you for all you do to lead. Thank you for all you do for the community around you and the people you have an opportunity to impact on. So, hey, if you have enjoyed this and would love to have a similar experience to Tharwat. It's an easy way to get connected. Just take out your phone, you can point it at the screen, click the QR, and figure out more about how to get connected in a local BNI chapter right where you are. We'd love to tell you more and share more about how you can experience the same thing. So for In the Green with BNI, I've been Paul Kroger.
I'm Felicia Miller-Johnson.
I'm Tharwat Lovett.
And this is In the Green with BNI.